Karen's relentless pursuit of control escalated once again when she tried to seize my workshop. This wasn't just a property dispute. It was a blatant attempt to assert authority through intimidation, taking something that didn't belong to her and claiming it as her own. She likely assumed that persistence, paired with threats and bureaucracy, would force compliance. What she didn't anticipate was that the workshop had been legally converted into a gun range, making her actions both dangerous and completely futile. The morning she arrived, she carried herself with the same false confidence that had become her hallmark. She brandished paperwork claiming ownership rights or enforcement authority and tried to assert control over the property. But the moment she stepped onto the premises, she was met with clear, calm authority. I stood at the entrance, badge visible, prepared for the inevitable confrontation. Karen's expression shifted immediately from arrogance to disbelief. She had assumed that legal loopholes or intimidation could override actual ownership and lawful conversion. Her threats rang hollow in the face of clear documentation, permits, and safety measures that defined the workshop-turned-gun range. Every attempt she made to push forward was met with calm resistance, and every word she spoke was countered with legal reality. The tension escalated when she tried to force her way in, sending her son and a small group of supporters to assist. They expected compliance from me, or at least hesitation. Instead, I calmly enforced the boundaries of the property, explaining the legal implications of trespassing and the safety hazards of entering a gun range without authorization. The sudden realization that her plan was both illegal and dangerous stunned them. Karen, panicked by the turn of events, attempted to negotiate, insisting that she had rights over the property. I walked her through the facts: the workshop's legal conversion, the required permits, and the documented ownership. Her arguments crumbled under scrutiny. Each paper she waved was dismissed by evidence, each threat countered by law and preparation. Her confidence eroded rapidly, replaced by growing frustration and desperation. Her supporters faltered as well. The group that had arrived to enforce her will now understood the risk and illegality of their actions. Attempts at intimidation failed, leaving them confused and hesitant. The authority Karen had once wielded through fear evaporated entirely. The combination of legal preparation, property control, and direct enforcement rendered her schemes meaningless. As the day progressed, Karen's attempts to regain control became increasingly frantic. She called the HOA board, emailed threats, and even tried to suggest alternative enforcement methods. Each move only highlighted her desperation and incompetence. Her inability to grasp the legal and practical boundaries of property rights left her exposed to not just humiliation but potential legal consequences. Neighbors and community members who witnessed the unfolding events were astonished. Karen, who had previously appeared untouchable, was now a figure of failure. Her schemes to seize property through intimidation had backfired spectacularly, and the workshop, once threatened, stood secure, symbolizing both authority and preparedness. By evening, Karen's retreat was inevitable. Her attempts to control or intimidate had failed completely. The workshop remained safe, fully operational, and legally protected. Her reputation, already tarnished by previous failures, suffered another blow. Every action she took reinforced the lesson: authority cannot be fabricated through fear, and persistence without preparation only leads to defeat. The incident served as a clear message to the community. Karen's attempts to manipulate, intimidate, or seize property were no longer credible. Every move she made to exert power without understanding legal and practical realities ended in failure. The workshop, transformed into a secure, functional space, stood as a symbol of preparedness, foresight, and the futility of her repeated overreach. Karen had once again underestimated not only the law but my vigilance and preparedness. Her plans, intended to intimidate and seize control, had resulted in public humiliation and failure. The saga continued, but it was increasingly clear that every attempt she made to assert authority would be met with decisive, lawful resistance.